Well, we need to welcome you back, and we're still with the issue of today, and we're still talking about the issue of running battle that seems to exist between ex-governors and their perceived godson and definitely governors, and how that seems to also be robbing the people of our good governance, and all of that is what's taking center stage on the show today. And I'll still remind you, we still have our guest. I was talking of no other person, but Dewa Egedigbe. Like I said, he's a human capital development practitioner and the executive director of Value Rebirth Center and director of studies right there at the Value Rebirth Center of Leadership School right here in Delta State. And well, as much as we're talking about this, we need to quickly go and get the message from our sponsors. We're talking about Benita Gas, located right here in Ughelli, Okokoko, Warrior and Environs. And when we come back, more discussion centered on the big story for today.
Oh, yeah, follow the road, auto better quality. If you dey talk gas matter, oh, yeah, follow Benita. Gas with the better quality. Benita gas, where they full rich man to Benita gas. Every brother na sharply. Benita gas, no mago. Benita gas, type of gas cylinder. I feel like that gas we go last you well. For gas matter, Benita now do. Benita gas service in a them they run. Benita make you carry go.
For gas matter and home delivery, make a wire Benita gas plant for 080-6745-7890 and 080-5904-7722. Benita gas plant, the tequila of gas matters.
Well, you know, it really matters if you really bring over that businesses and all the service you need to also get to the public. And let's see how we can do business, because the big story is big enough to accommodate all of that. But I know we're still with the big one today, and we're talking about the issue that seems not only be playing out in River State, and most likely might play out in some other states, especially with information reaching us. But anyway, as much as we're looking at that, we're looking at why there seems to be that running battle between ex-governors and their perceived godsons or successor. But let's quickly come to it, because it will be really out of place if we keep putting everything on what seems to be happening in River State, because like we do know, the issue of ex-governors and their successor or perceived godson and or benefactors, this has always been a kind of a norm in Nigeria over the years, and most likely many will argue that it will even continue even after the Fubara and Wiki issue. Let's take our minds even back to the issue of Chimaroke Nnamani and Sovelan Chime, and who will forget that Shomole and Godwin Obaseki, and or rather Oji Kalu and Theodora Oji from also from even Rabiu Kwankwaso and the immediate past governor of the state, Abdullahi Gandoji. I can go on and on and on. So my question now is, really, what is really causing the issue? Is it an issue of relevance? Because Wike said it yesterday, that relevance seems to be one of it. But is it an issue of relevance? Is it an issue of greed? Or is it betrayal that is making this running battle even become more fierce going on?
Well, all of the attributes you've mentioned, they are part of it.
Wanting to be relevant.
Greed, number one.
Whoa.
Relevance, another one. Covering their track, another critical one. Then, of course, because they've acquired a lot of primitive acquisition, they need a stooge that can keep that seal lips. So this is what drives them into that. That is why you see that a governor will use the state patrimony to foist a stooge on the people of the state. So, but because at the point of coming in, the man who is being propelled seem to be loyal, he wouldn't see anything wrong in whatever is thrown at him from
at the initial
Godfather.
stage. Yeah.
But sooner than he assume office and see the perk of office, the flavor that comes with the office,
and
the
bounty.
juiciness,
Yeah,
the bounty that comes with it. Oh, and of course, the sycophants that are trailing around him we let him know, Oga, you need to take your place. You are the governor. You are the governor. Like you could see from the conversation when Fubara was on that trail, on that move. You see those chanting around him. Of course. So these are the reasons. Now, the man who did everything, who went out of his way, possibly converted money that should serve the people's interest.
I'm really interested in that.
To foist you on the people. You turn back so suddenly. You know, we are humans. You know, God even himself got angry at the time when the people were behaving contrary to what he expected of them. Jesus Christ, the Messiah, also got angry when the people were behaving the way they ought not to have behaved. He touched them for doing so. So it is human for those godfathers to feel stabbed midway. And they want to also react. But how you react is, you know, what brings about this conversation here and there. So we need to now know what should be and what shouldn't be. That brings it to the fore of the people, the citizens of this country.
Yeah, I'll come to that, because I really want us to understand this, because like you said, everybody seems to be putting it on the ex-governor.
Yes.
But would it be fair to them, after spending their resources, their time, emotional well-being for their successor and benefactors, and just be pushed aside? Because I still remember during the campaign, I'll call for that video now, because I still remember during the campaign of the first tenure of Godwin Obaseki, when Oshomole was governor. He was even basically the one doing the talk, taking the hits, and even on stage, he was even the one dancing and doing all of that. I'll call for the video because we need to see all of it. If you are watching us on the TV, that's Oshomole himself doing the dance, doing the campaign, putting all the energies, taking the heat for the present governor, and that's how it is. So is it fair, after doing all of these, then you'll be pushed aside?
It is not fair.
So is it not fair? So because let's try and balance the issue.
Yes, for me, it is not fair.
Because and now they'll say it's Omiloko, it's my turn.
Yes.
And so let's go outside.
Now,
step aside.
For me, it is not fair. And we should not pretend about it. It is not fair. One, for instance, the people that these former governors foist on the people, they are people who are very amateur. They are people of low degree. And he pumps them up, use state machinery to brush them and put them into the saddle. Suddenly you turn and you say that man is no longer relevant. Oh, you have taken the saddle. But that also underscored a point that our democracy, citizens should be growing by the day. By one administration to the other, they should be growing. Now, when this same thing come again, how do we take it? How do we respond to it? How do we respond to it is critical. When was election done? Just some months back.
Some months back.
And we saw the campaigns. We saw the fanfare that ensued. Now, campaign is gone. People have been elected. Look at what is happening. So that should tell the citizens of this country, irrespective of the state you are in, that we need to be more circumspect with these politicians each time they come to us. If it is to protect your dynasty as against the patrimony of the people of the state, then something is wrong. We should look at you with an eye of the suspect and do the needful at that point. So that let's vote for people. I listened to Natasha Akpoti yesterday, and she was talking, and I agree with her completely, that look, I don't have any godfather behind me. I campaigned, I sold myself to the people. They saw in me a senator, and they voted for me. Even though I was robbed, thank God the court have brought my victory back to me. And I'm going there to serve my people. I'm going there to be a model to women and all comers. And these were her words. Why was she doing that? She was doing that because she's a product of the people. She was not handpicked by one godfather who automatically, foist her on the people. So to that extent, she was able to stand her ground. And at every point, she said she is going to the Senate to make a mark. Why? She don't need to massage any ego of anybody somewhere. That is how it should be.
Now, still looking at this, because we feel it is really not fair to the ex-governors. But people will also ask. Everybody has somebody that mentors and even provide for them to attain a certain position. So is there enough now? Because like I said, it is like what we know of that of River State, that the governor had to give him 25 persons of the 26 commissioners, give him SSG, give him all of that. So it's only normal that somebody would also assist you to get to a position, but should that person now totally rule over you and not give you a breathing space to perform?
No, the question that you follow that your question is, what was their own understanding? Their memorandum of understanding before they went into it.
Wow, very funny.
You see, that's why I tell you that when we are looking at this, let's not look at them at the surface level.
Yes.
There were so many undercurrent that played that me and you didn't see.
And agreements that were made.
And that's how there is undercurrent I'm saying. There were so many underplay that you and I didn't see. We are only seeing the reaction now. So people that are going into agreement, either well-intended or not, the consequence of those, reneging,
or whether through Okija shrine or not.
Or Okija shrine or not. Why? That was why they said, Ukwa in his own movie said, agreement is agreement. Agreement is agreement. When you sign to an MOU, that memorandum of understanding, that when I do this, when you go in there, you do this for me, and you attest your signature to it, either by verbal or by written, you should be able to stand on it. Now, you said he brought 25 commissioners, the man took only one. Did he tell us, did he say no at that time? He accepted it because maybe that was what they had.
So why now come to the public and cry about it?
And begin to cry. And also, you see that the man was also tactical in that regard. In all of his woe that he was crying, he didn't mention Wike's name.
Yes.
He didn't. He was clever not to mention Wike's name. He was saying, what have I done? They should tell the Rivers people what I have done. But
to warrant my impeachment.
To warrant my impeachment. But he knows that was also, statement was not also correct. What has he done? These House of Assembly members are representative of the people. They are there representing the people. For gross misconduct, you can be impeached.
Yes.
You can be removed.
Yes.
It is removed by the Constitution says.
Yes.
So if the House of Assembly member perceive you to have conducted yourself in a way that amounts to misconduct,
undermine their ulterior motives,
whichever, because they are the House of Assembly, just as you are the governor. Because the checks and balances is there.
It's always there.
So let them come out. If they come out and there's a prima facie, then you go. If there is not, you are vindicated. That is how it is. That is how it is. He contested that election with some other persons, and the INEC judged him to be the winner. That's why he's there. So there is no point crying wolf. When you subscribe to be a leader, you want to lead the people, you must be ready to die to serve. And you must, your integrity must be strong to the extent that when you say a thing, whether good or bad, you take it. I listened to Mr. President yesterday among several speeches that he made when he was talking to the ministers and those at the meeting, that look, I take responsibility, and I've also said I'm a human being. I will make mistakes. When they are obvious, I will apologize and we move on. These were his words yesterday. That is how to be a leader. You don't only say when the things are right, that's when you are a leader. When they are also wrong, be bold enough to admit those mistakes, ask for forgiveness, and you move on. Now, let's now relate this.
Yes.
Between Tinubu and Buhari, have you had any sinister things since he left? That man has left and he has gone. Why? Tinubu coming in, you cannot say Buhari foisted Tinubu on Nigerians. You cannot say that.
But some people will also argue on that ground.
No, but you can't say that because
you know the drama that played out.
That means that Tinubu was not even supporting Buhari.
Yes.
So the man has finished his own and he has gone. But the reverse is the case with the Rivers, the outgone governor and the present governor.
Now, why I'm asking this? Yeah, why I'm asking this, because we keep talking about Rivers, but we do know that in some Niger Delta states, these same issues are playing out. It's only that, like you said, the sense of reaction and maturity into it is what's only playing out. And even there's every prediction, and there's this rumor that maybe in a couple of months' time, in most of the Niger Delta states, we will see real hard battles coming to the fold.
We need to even be specific. In Delta here.
Well, we will not call states, we will not call names, neither would we say all of that. But it is being rumored that in some Niger Delta states, things like this will certainly play out in the foreseeable future.
Well,
so let's please leave it at that.
Well,
but still talking about what impact would all of this have on the people when we keep having ex-governors and their predecessor always having this running back to. What impact will they have on the life and toll of governance? Because that's even why we're having
that
this
is
discussion.
why governance is taking the backstage. That's why governance is taking the backstage. Which is why I'm calling on to develop the democracy that we are practicing today. 24 years of unbroken democracy, and we are still running in circle. Things that happen in the first administration and second, they are still happening at almost the fifth rung of a process. It doesn't make sense now. It doesn't speak well of us, which is why we must deal with the issue head on. And when we are talking here, let's not be sentimental. Let's hit it hard. And let everybody that needs to hear. The one that need to learn lesson, learn lesson. The one that doesn't want to learn should face the consequence of not learning. That's what it should be. For instance, we've seen a lot of, one step forward, 3 steps backward. Back home here, you've seen that not much has been said. The silence of the graveyard is what we see here in Delta State, with due respect to the government of today.
Yes.
We also hear hue and cry today, 5 months down the government line. We don't have a commissioner for information. We don't have a commissioner for information. We don't have an attorney general of the state. That cannot be unconnected with some, interest power play. That cannot be unconnected. Are you telling me that since the man was declared governor till when he was sworn in, until 5 months time, he has not perceived who can be commissioner for information, who can become attorney general of the state? No, now. So all those interplays there.
Yes.
So we are saying that, look, politicians should divest themselves from this, interplay that is not benefiting the generality of the people.
Yes.
The moment you subscribe to lead, you must die to self.
Yes.
Selfishness must be at the back seat, and selflessness taking the center stage. That's the way it is practiced.
Okay, I agree with you. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more discussion centered on this today as we look at the running battle that seems to exist between ex-governors and their successors or perceived godsons.